All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Touchdown Crew Fantasy Football Draft. It is 9:30 here on the East Coast. We are going to go ahead and get started with the regular draft here on about 10 p.m. Doing a little pre-show going on here. So let me just go ahead and get everybody accustomed to what we got going on. We are part of the ASAP Sports Network, and we do run a show called the Touchdown Crew. Me, Victor, Michael, sometimes Mike up there in Chicago joins us. Mike Hughes, he's actually got a lot of things going on. So we have him sometimes on there. Randy Jowers, he also joins us here and there. So we got a little good, close-knit gang that joins us every week, every Sunday from 10 a.m. Eastern on. And this will be the show to watch for all your football preparations for that Sunday. So next Sunday when you come on, guess what? We're going to go break down every game going on that week. So we got 15 games that we're going to break down. We already broke down the Buffalo Ram game, which will be happening Thursday night. That's going to be big. And this draft is taking place in ripe prime time formation. Reason for the draft so late because, honestly, gentlemen and ladies, if you're watching, I don't understand anybody that would draft earlier than this, because at this point in time, anybody that has been cut is obviously been listed as, gone. You're not going to draft somebody that's going to get cut. It's not going to be a wasted pick. You know who's on what team, with the exception of some free agents that are still out there waiting to be picked up. So, but again, those are few and far between. So this draft taking place on a Sunday where nothing is happening, at a time for most works for them. And we have 10 of our finest from the ASAP Sports Network that's going to be go ahead and kicking this off, myself included. We have Ray, who is going to be the owner of the Jaguar football team, which very nice name, Ray, by the way. I just got to tell you, I mean, that's really creative. The Denver Broncos by Nathaniel. Again, very creative. However, the next one here, it starts to get creative now with these names here. The Gonzo Sports Room with Chris. Christy is in the house. So he should be in the house here coming later. Matthew with Money Mills. Those 5 teams round out the AFC division. As you can see, the Jaguars and myself, the Mac Attack, of course, got to go ahead and support my New England Patriots. So we're in the AFC. Those are the 5 teams in the AFC. In the NFC, with the other division here, we got Kirk Cousins Immunity by Joe. Hope to see him on the show. Kind of want to see where he got all that from. He must be a Minnesota Vikings fan or a Kirk Cousins fan, and he would be the first one that would be a fan of Kirk Cousins. I don't know anybody else that is. James comes in with the name Doomsday. That's probably why I put him in the NFC. I don't want to face him twice in one season. Robert comes in with a creative name, the Rob Mob. I like it. I don't know where this one comes in. Ronald is the owner of Often Warm Pie. We can take that in a number of different ways, and I'm going to keep it family-friendly on that one. And my buddy Coach Victor, who is one of our co-hosts here at the Touchdown Crew. Apparently he goes for Disney. He named his team Hakuna Matata. Yes, that's what he named his team. And that's what we're going as. That's all I can say. The draft is up. It is ready. So anybody that's going to go in live, we have the draft open. And it's if you're loading the interface, of course, it is the NFL.com interface. I personally like it. ESPN has gotten a lot of praise with their fantasy leagues. Yahoo is Yahoo. And of course, there's others that are out there, but I personally like mine. Now, I don't want to go ahead and toot my own horn, but I did draw up first pick. I did not, swear to God, did not go ahead and take any of this. So I got the first pick, the Big Mac Attack. Money Mills has gotten pick number 2. Gonzo got number 3. Often Warm Pie number 4. Denver Broncos number 5. The Rob Mop number 6. Doomsday number 7. Hakuna Matata is number 8. Kirk Cousins is number 9, and the Jaguars, Ray, is number 10. Now, here's the thing about this draft, and most drafts out there. This draft is a snake draft. Now, what is a snake draft? Well, what it does basically is it goes back and forth, back and forth. So you're maybe the first pick on this round, but you are the last pick the next round, and vice versa. So in each end, if you're the first pick on round 1, you're the last pick on round 2, but then you're the first pick in round 3, which means you get back-to-back picks. Now, Ray, with the Jaguars, he will have back-to-back picks for the first time for the first part of the draft, because he's picking last in round 1 and first in round 2, and it just goes back and forth, back and forth. The only thing that doesn't work out too well for the teams like the Denver Broncos and the Rob Mob, because they're in the middle. They're pretty much going to have their picks every 10 picks. So it doesn't work out too well for them. But people that are closer to the beginning or closer to the end, you're going to have back-to-back picks. Now, the bad part is, of course, you're going to go a full 20 picks after you do your back-to-back. You see what I'm saying? So there's some good and some bad about picking first. I'm just going to go right off the bat here. I've had 2 other drafts today. I've had a number 3 draft, and I had a number 6. Number 3 actually worked out pretty cool, but I did not have a chance to land my hands on Jonathan Taylor. I'm just going to spoil it. He's my first pick. So Jonathan Taylor will land with me. He will be my first pick, and that's that. That's what it's going to be. Now, there are plenty of players out there that the first pick, you can't go wrong in the first round. I don't care what order you draft, you're going to get a star player no matter what. Probably a star player in the second round and the third round. Now, we only have 10 teams. People that have the 12 teams, 14 teams, and God forbid if you have 16 or more, you're just like, you just might as well just count your blessings if you do get a good draft pick to open up. But let's just put it out there. So on the top 10 list right off the bat, you got Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Austin Eckler, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Devontae Cook, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon round out the top 10. Right under the bubble is a receiver that I think is way below where he needs to be, and that's Davante Adams. Davante Adams, I think, is going to have a huge year, and if you can get him, I think that would be the greatest thing you could ever do. Chances are by the time I pick next will be round 2. It will be pick number 20 for me. It won't be there. It just won't be there. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick just to go ahead and give you what everything looks like on this end here. So as you can see right off the bat, get on here. So right off the bat here, we have, the draft board doesn't look that clear now, does it? But you can see right at the top here, this is where we're going to be drafting at the top. And that's the way it's going to work. So we got the board. We can check out who's on the board. As you can see, we got 19 minutes and 38 seconds to get in there. I'm logged in. We got Gonzo logged in. Rob Mob is logged in. Ray is logged in. So we're waiting. So we got 4 teams that are live. Now, the rest, as you can see, if you could take a look at this over here, this yellow box with the 2 arrows, basically shows you they're auto picking. They haven't signed in yet, so automatically they're going to go ahead and pick the next one that's on this list. So, like, for instance, let me zoom out a little bit. So right now, if I was to auto pick, I would automatically take the next person that's on the overall here, unless I had a Q, which I don't. But I would take the next available, which is Jonathan Taylor. If Money Mills stays the way they are, they're taking Christian McCaffrey, and so on and so forth. So the one bad thing about auto drafting is you may not get the players you want at the time you want. Now, if you go ahead, and the one good thing about auto drafting is the next ranked player is going to be yours. So that's kind of cool to do. So some people choose to just go ahead and do the auto draft. You know, they don't want to put too much thought into it. I'm not a fan of that. If you want to go ahead and auto draft, that's fine. You got, and if you do like auto drafting, that's fine. But it's like, you're not guaranteed a great team. Obviously, you're just going to get whatever's next there. But I'll be honest with you, some of these players that are ranked, like, for instance, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't put a whole lot of trust in Derrick Henry. Now, yeah, when he's healthy, he's good, but he's also very injury prone. So yes, he's good overall when you go ahead and say Derrick Henry is going to get you a lot of points. Yes, he is. But, I wouldn't mind going ahead and taking somebody like, a Joe Mixon or a Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, he's going to get targeted almost all day long. Naheem Harris, they're going to run the ball in Pittsburgh. They are. Debo and Lamb over there in San Francisco and the Cowboys, respectfully, they're already marked as questionable. So they already have nagging injuries going into the play. Will they be good for the rest of the season? Who knows? But that's one of the things you have to take a look at. So you have the intangibles of, if you do the auto draft and you get one of these players that is injury prone that you kind of maybe didn't want, well, that's it. Travis Kelce is on there, like in the one of the top 15, top 20 players. I will tell you this: we do not have a mandatory tight end position, so you do not have to draft a tight end. It is not mandatory. If you choose to do so, obviously they would take up one of your receiver spots. Now, here's what we have here. Let me just try to see if I can. I want to try to see if I can go ahead and show you what we got going on here. So here we go. So let me get back to this this page here real quick. Okay. So, and let me just take myself out of the picture here. So here's how the position's going. So obviously you got one running back, you got a receiver, a quarterback. You have a tight. No, that doesn't show you everything. So here, over here to the right, over here, if you can take a look over here, right? This is what I'm going to be highlighting. So we have a quarterback. You get 2 running backs to start. You get 2 receivers to start. You get a wide receiver, and you have a kicker and a defense. And then you have a few bench players. Okay? So the tight end is not a mandatory position. So just wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that. By the way, you can go ahead and chat in the chat room on the fantasy draft if you wish to. You can do that. Yeah, I just realized that. Rosters. Let me see here. So information, scores, waivers. So yeah, again, you do not have to draft a tight end. At least that's not what am I seeing that? Let me take a look here because again, I've had a few. Yeah, I've had a few. I've had a few come my way. Like I've had a few drafts already today. So I apologize if maybe I don't even know my own draft. Let's see here. Manage leagues, scoring waivers, odds, trades, rosters. So anyway, actually, so I take that back. So there is a tight end that would have to draft. So there will be a tight end. Okay, so that is, I'm actually glad I went into that. So a tight end does have to be drafted. Well, does have to start, I should say. There is no receiver tight end combo like I thought we had put in there, but that's NFL for you. That's the NFL way of doing things. So let me see here. So all right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and run a couple of videos real quick here. I'm gonna take a break, and let me see here. Give me one moment. By the way, we got a lot of great shows on here, so please go ahead and make sure that you watch and listen right here on the ASAP Sports Network.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, we're back here. The ASAP Sports Network. We're here for the Touchdown Crew Fantasy Football Draft 2022. Taking place here in about 11 minutes and 33 seconds. We're going to have pick number 1. We have Jaguars that are logged in, ready to go. Rob Mob is logged in, ready to go. I'm logged in, ready to go. I think we have a few that are going to go ahead and take their chances on the auto draft, which I believe we had Gonzo in. I think he just went ahead and went auto draft, so he may or may not be running the show. Let's go ahead and real quickly, let's go to the points real quick because the point system, little bit different than most. Now, this one I did make sure we went ahead and took care of. So let's go real quickly over to the point system. So as you can take a look here, the point system goes as is. So for the quarterbacks and passing yards, so passing yards, let's take a look here. And of course, it's not doing it very well, is it? So I apologize, guys. A little bit of trouble here. All right. So for passing yards, you get 25 yards equals 1 point. So every time, every quarterback that throws 25 yards, you get a point. So if you get 100 yards for a quarterback, you get 4 points on yardage. Every touchdown is 6 points. That goes across the board. If you get over 300 yards, you get an extra 3 points. Over 400 yards, you get 6 points. That's bonus. That's one time. For rushing, every 10 yards is a point. Rushing touchdowns, like I said, 6 points. If you get over 200 rushing yards, it's a 5-point bonus. Receiving, we are in a PPR, which is points per reception. There's 1 point every time you receive if you catch a ball. The receiving yards, a little different. Every 20 yards is a point because we're giving you a 1 full point for the person catching the ball. Every 20 yards is a point. Now, receiving touchdowns, again, 6 points as well. Receiving, now, this league does do partial points. So if you only get 10 yards for your receiver, you will get a half a point, and so on and so forth. So whatever it breaks down for that. Now, kickers, PATs still with just a point. Field goals made all the way up to 49 yards. Actually, all the way up, period, is 3 points. So we got that. Now, defense is per team. You'll be drafting a team, not individual players. So we are doing 2 points every time they get a sack, an interception, a fumble recovery. Safeties are worth 4 points. Touchdowns, again, worth 6 points. That's clear across the board. Kickoff and punt return touchdowns, 6 points. So, yes, the defensive team that you pick will also be your special teams. And if they get a 2-point return, it's 2 points. So you got that going on. Any miscellaneous here? Fumble recovery for a TD, that's a touchdown as well. Again, you'll be using your defense. And 2-point conversions are 4 points. That means the quarterback and or receiver or running back that you have, if they get a 2-point conversion, that's points for you. If they go ahead and score a 2-point conversion on a touchdown that one of your players made, and it's not your player that gets the 2-point conversion, you don't get credit for it. So there we go. A couple of things to kind of go ahead and go over and share. So we got about 7.5 minutes to go until we go ahead and start this shindig. We got Denver Broncos, Rob Mob, Jaguars, and myself are in. So we got 6 teams that are either logged in or doing the auto draft or have not logged in yet. Like Victor was telling me, he may or may not be live for the draft. That's okay. That's fine. Again, like I said, he's just going to go into the auto draft. So, and we'll go ahead and have blow by blow in regards to the draft. So the draft does take place tonight here in about 7 minutes. There is a 14-game schedule. Now, we have 10 teams, which means we'll have 2 division winners. Even though if the one division winner doesn't have a great record but still leads that division, they are classified going to the playoffs. They are going to get one of the byes. There will be 6 teams to go ahead and make the playoffs. 6 out of 10. Very good odds. 6 out of 10 making the playoffs. The league champions from the AFC and NFC will get a bye week. The other 2 teams, NFC 2 and 3 and AFC 2 and 3, will face off against each other. The winner, obviously, will face off against the division champion. And, of course, the winner of those 2 games go on to the championship. And that's where we go ahead and give out the money that we were planning on giving, which is exactly $0.0. This is a braggers' rights league. There is no money in here. Nobody's paying it. So, yes, there is also that chance of just somebody just floating around and flopping their team. I understand that. I get it. That's fine. But I want something to go ahead and do with the ASAP network. I'm very proud to be a part of this network. I think it's been a little over a year since I joined. So I'm very proud for the show that we do. I think we do a good show. And again, every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, you see me, Victor, Michael, sometimes Mike and Randy join in. But we have a lot of information, a lot of entertainment going on here. So this Sunday coming up, next Sunday, that will be the 11th of September, we will go over we'll review the Buffalo and Rams game. What went down, what's coming up, what's next for those 2 teams, everything like that. We're going to be previewing all of Sunday's games, Sunday night's games, and Monday night's games. Of course, all will be will be previewed. We'll definitely focus emphasis on the Eagles game because Michael is an Eagles fan, so we're just going to have to go ahead and do that. Chris is like saying, how do I do in my 12-man half PPR draft? Make any moves? Hurts, JT, Saquon, Sutton, Marquise Brown, Andrews, Mike Thomas. Bench has got Damian and Ramonde, James Robinson, Boyd, Dotson, Pickens, Christian. I don't know what your exact question was. If you wanted to do some changes, first off, I wouldn't trust anything about Jalen Hurts. Saquon's injury prone, but he's on an offense that's got a quarterback that's skeptical, so they're probably going to have a target on Saquon back. Courtland Sutton has potential. Marquise Brown has potential, but they got to target him. They got to find out, is he going to be a premier receiver over there? Mike Thomas. Again, you got. I mean, it's definitely sounds. I just don't like Jalen Hurts. I'm not a fan of Jalen Hurts. So, Damian and Ramonde, you have those two running backs. I think that's just you have to pick one. I wouldn't go with Damian and Ramonde. I say pick one because if you have both of them, that means you have to go ahead and start both of them. Otherwise, you're playing a hand of you're playing a hand at the roulette table, and it's going to be either red or black, and you can't win with both of them because they're going to pick one. James Robinson, I don't know. Travis Etienne, I think, is got that job locked in unless he goes down again. Tyler Boyd, it's a toss up. I mean, I think your starters are pretty decent in regards to you definitely got Jonathan Thomas, so you definitely got the number one pick right there. So that's to be seen. That he's probably going to get you the most points right there. Now you said it's only a half a point PPR. If it's the same thing here, JT is basically good for close to 100 yards a game, if not more. And they're going to be focused on him because they're not going to go ahead and put the ball in Matt Ryan's hands for the whole game. They're definitely going to rely a lot on the run. So we'll see what's going on here. I see Gonzo Sports did come in and check back in. He's taken himself off the autopilot. We still have 4 teams in the autopilot. That's Money Mills, Off and Warm Pie, Doomsday, and Hakuna Matata. Those teams that are going in auto pick, which is kind of interesting. Again, Money Mills is auto drafting. He's number 2. Off and Warm Pie number 4. We got Doomsday and Hakuna Matata at 7 and 8. So Doomsday and Hakuna Matata, they're going to be picking sometimes 2 picks pretty close together. Kirk Cousins just went on autopilot again, so he may be rethinking his. He may be actually putting up and putting his queue in line so he can go ahead and actually just have it auto picked again. That's the way you guys want to. If that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. I personally like to go ahead and see what happens because even though I may set my queue for auto draft, it's you never know. So anyway, we got about a minute 20 to go before we start this draft. And again, this goes by quickly. You only got 60 seconds to pick your player unless you're on auto draft. And that's if that's the case, that's that'll go pretty quick. That'll go with like 5 seconds. So out of the 60 seconds you get, that auto draft will just go ahead and pick itself for 5 seconds. So got 1 minute to go. Anybody that wants to go ahead that's watching and wants to join in, go ahead and click on the link on the chat that I left open. I'll go ahead and put it through again just to make sure everybody got it. And of course, it'll be listed on the Facebook page as well. So, I mean, I might as well just go ahead and keep mine on auto draft because Jonathan Taylor is going to be my first pick. So I'm going to go ahead with everybody else. Jonathan Taylor has been picked number 1 96% of the time. So we're just going to go ahead and say that. It's just Jonathan Taylor's time to go ahead and pick. I like him. I'm not a fan of Matt Ryan at quarterback, so I don't know if they're going to go ahead and how well he's going to do. But that's the way it is. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get this draft started. Here we go. We're ready to roll. So we're going players, Jonathan Taylor. Here we go. Let's get started here. Jonathan Taylor is in. So let's see. Gonzo is on the clock. And let's take a look at the draft log here. So Money Mills actually ended up with Justin Jefferson. Gonzo on the clock here. We'll see how it goes here. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. So we go. Cooper Kupp goes to Gonzo. Often Warm Pie will go ahead and he'll take Christian McCaffrey. He was on auto draft. Rob Mobb, Denver Broncos goes with Derrick Henry. Rob Mobb is next. So you can see this is picking up pretty quickly. As you can tell, it's picking up pretty quickly here. So now, again, like I mentioned, McCaffrey and Henry, they're both injury prone. Again, when they're playing, I like them both. Austin Eckler goes to the Rob Mobb. He's another running back. So running backs, with the exception of Jefferson and Kupp, are going. Jamar Chase just went to Doomsday. Akuna Matata is now drafting. I believe Akuna Matata is actually logged in, ready to go. So he is going to be picking live. So Victor going to picking live. He's the coach on the touchdown crew. We'll see what he goes ahead. He's going to go with Dalvin Cook, one of the running backs there. Kirk Cousins is next on the clock. We're going to be flying through this first round, everybody. And then we got Jaguars doing 2 picks back-to-back, number 10 and number 11. Jones from Green Bay going to Kirk Cousins. Here's the Jaguars, 2 picks back-to-back. Let's see what he does. I'm kind of digging what's going down here, so let's bring this in here a little bit wider. And Jaguars taking their time a little bit here. Let's see what's going on. So Aaron Jones, again, he may be splitting time in Green Bay, so I don't know how smart of a move that is unless Kirk Cousins' immunity fields that Aaron Jones will be taking the load there in Green Bay. Jaguars down to 10 seconds. They need to get a pick in. They got 2 of them back-to-back, so 5 seconds. They're going to be auto-drafting somebody here if they don't get a pick in soon, and that's it. So Tyreek Hill goes to the Jaguars. I'm not sure if that was auto-picked, but Jaguars got another pick coming up now. Now, again, Tyreek Hill going to Miami. I mean, listen, you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on opposite ends right now. So, you know what? Tua has got the weapons. Tua has definitely got the weapons. We have no idea how he's going to use the weapons or how anybody else is going to prepare for that, because that's a lot of speed, guys. That's a lot of speed going there in Miami. And they're going to be facing New England, so they're going to get a chance to play around, honestly. Jaguars taking this all the way down. They went ahead and picked Alvin Kamara to the Jaguars. All right, Kirk Cousins coming in. Kirk Cousins coming in here. Their first pick was Aaron Jones, and they're going with Devontae Adams. I told you Devontae Adams was ranked number 11. He went number 12. Joe Mixon for Hakuna Matata right there. Doomsday went ahead and just picked Stephon Diggs. So we're seeing some receivers going now. So far, no quarterbacks yet. No quarterbacks have been taken. Rob Mobb is on the clock right now, picking number 5 of the second round. Now, Stephon Diggs is now facing a crowded receiver room, to be honest with you. Najee Harris going to the Rob Mobb there from Pittsburgh. There's Swift, running back out of Detroit, going to the Denver Broncos. Deebo Samuel, here's one of the receivers that is in question, has been dealing with a little bit of an injury. Deebo going to Often Warm Pie. Deebo Samuel from the 49ers. Gonzo picking right now. Gonzo wasting no time to take Travis Kelce. Money Mills taking Josh Allen, the first quarterback of the draft being taken. I've seen a lot of people take quarterbacks really, really early. And honestly, I'm looking for my first receiver. And actually, that receiver looks like it's done. I may have to go my quarterback right now. I'm not taking Lamar. Jalen Hurts, no. I'm going to go with Mahomes. No, you know what? I'm going to go with Herbert. Go with Herbert. And then I'll take... And I take Mike Evans. I just have a feeling with Mike Evans. I think, I'm going to take Mike Evans. So there we go. So, right there. So let's go ahead and recap here real quickly. So I took Herbert and Evans back-to-back. Money Mills goes for Nick Chubb. Gonzo goes to Saquon. Often Warren Pie goes and hits CeeDee Lamb. Keenan Allen for going to Denver Broncos, as Keenan Allen is actually a part of the Chargers. Looks like Doomsday and Hakuna Matata now are going auto-picked. Michael Pittman goes to the Rob Mob. Doomsday is going to go ahead and, Rob Mob goes Michael Pittman. Doomsday goes Leonard Fournette. And Hakuna Matata gets Mark Andrews, tight end for Baltimore. So, yes, remember, tight end does have a spot here in this league. Kirk Cousins immunity. He's taking a look at his picks. We're already at the end of the third round here on the Touchdown Crew Fantasy Football Draft. If you wish to join us, go ahead and click on the link right there on the ASAP Network. We have the link there on the Touchdown Crew Facebook page, facebook.com/TDC.ASAP. And you can join us here in the StreamYard video chat. You can also chat with us, too, as well on Facebook and YouTube, actually. We're on both there today. Kirk Cousins immunity took it down to the last 20 seconds, but he got Travis McLaurin from Washington. I think very underrated. Jaguars go ahead and take Trevor Lawrence. Typical. You're going to go ahead and take a Jaguar quarterback with the Jaguars. Now watch. He's going to get Travis Etienne with the next pick, right? Jaguars are going to go ahead and go all Jaguars. No, Hunter Renfrow from Vegas. Kind of like that, actually. Because a lot of people, you know what? And you got a good point there, Ray. I think they're going to go ahead and double up on Devontae, and I think Renfrow may have a day. Renfrow may have a big day, actually. So we'll see how it goes. Kirk Cousins immunity on the clock here, about 30 seconds to pick. And we are in the fourth round, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth round, second pick of the fourth round, pick number 42. Kirk Cousins got about 20 seconds to make his pick. And we'll see where that goes. Lamar Jackson is going into Kirk Cousins immunity. Then we got Ezekiel Elliott. David Montgomery going there as well. David Montgomery, let's see. So let's take a look here. So Lamar goes to Kirk Cousins, immunity. Ezekiel Elliott goes to Hakuna Matata. David Montgomery goes to Doomsday. And I believe Hakuna Matata is in autopilot right now. Rob Mob is on the clock. He is picking manually. Got about 29 seconds to go in his pick. Now, David Montgomery, I think he's going to be like the sole savior up there for Justin Fields. Because if David Montgomery can't get the running game going, Fields is going to have to run for his life. Ezekiel Elliott has been dropping every year, so he's due for a big one. T. Higgins going to the Rob Mob. A.J. Brown going to the Denver Broncos from Philly. Kyle Pitts, tight end, going to the Off and Warm Pie. Gonzo's on the clock, then Money Mills, then myself for a couple of picks. And we'll see what we got going on here. Kyle Pitts, very, very good tight end, but very, very bad quarterback scenario there in Atlanta. I'm not fond of it at all. Got Williams there in Denver going to Gonzo. Taking a risk there for a running back. We'll see how that works out. There's George Kittle going there for the tight end. I think I need to go ahead and get a tight end. I really do. Tight end. What are we going to do here? Give me some tight ends here. I hate Dallas Goedert. I kind of dig Gesicki. But at the same time, yeah, I'm going to do Gesicki. Yeah, give me Gesicki. And I got to get another guy out there. So let's see if I can go ahead and make something happen here. See, I'm not sold on Marquise Brown, DJ Metcalf. I'm not sold on either because I don't know their situation there. I don't want to pick another Charger. I already got Herbert. I don't want to pick up another Charger. So I'm going to do Waddle. Reason why I'm doing Waddle is because if they don't have if they don't have they can't get it to Hill, Waddle's going to be the next best thing. And Waddle has speed. So Gesicki and Waddle. I know I just picked two Dolphins back to back. I may have to work out a trade on that one. I may have to look at another receiver to kind of shake things up. Bryce Hall goes to Money Mills. Connor from Arizona goes to Gonzo. You got Mike Williams from the Chargers going to Off and Warm Pie. Denver Broncos up for a couple of picks. Davis there for Buffalo. I apologize, not Denver, but yeah, Jaguars are the ones that go back to back. Me and Ray apparently have the back to back picks every other round. So Denver going after a Buffalo receiver. Listen, I think all the Buffalo receivers are going to be huge. I don't think they're all going to be 1,000 yards. I think there's going to be a couple of them, and I'm not sure if Davis is one of them. But again, we're picking off receivers one at a time. Rob Mobb goes ahead and gets ATN from Jacksonville. I don't know. We haven't really seen what he can do, but he looks pretty good in camp. Allen Robinson from the Rams goes to Doomsday. There's Hollywood Brown going to Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata was talking about going ahead and getting Lamar Jackson as quarterback, but don't think he realized that he lost out to him. He should have picked him up early if he wanted him. Got Kirk Cousins immunity right there on the clock here. We're in round number 5, pick number 9. That's pick 59, if those of you keeping track at home. Kirk Cousins immunity, about 25 seconds to go. Let's take a look at Kirk Cousins immunity. You got Lamar Jackson, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Travis McLaurin. He's got a pretty solid line right there so far. He needs another running back, a tight end, a receiver, running backs, flex, kicker, and a defense. So he's got some work to make up. And he just went ahead and filled his tight end position with Zach Ertz. Ertz is pretty solid, especially now playing in Arizona. He's going to get a good amount of playing time. So I kind of like that. Let's take a look at the Jaguars. They got 2 picks. So far, Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence, Alvin Kamara, got Tyreek Hill, and Hunter Renfrow. So they got 2 picks right now. They need another running back. They need a flex. They just picked up Dawson Knox, so they filled their tight end spot. They need a flex, a kicker, and a defense. So let's see what the Ray does with the Jaguars now, as he has another running back, a flex, and a kicker, and a defense. I don't think they're going to go defense this early, but he may pick another receiver depending on what he thinks he likes. He's got 35 seconds for this pick. A lot of pressure doing the back-to-back because you can kind of go ahead and look at other people, but you only got a minute to make this decision. Again, unless you are confident and you want to go ahead and have the computer pick for you, it's all for you. Getting down to 10 seconds there. Ray's going to make a pick quick. Otherwise, he's going to get auto draft whatever's next. 2 seconds. 1. All right, so let's see what they choose for him. Michael Carter from the Jets gets picked in his other running back slot. So he's got a flex, kicker, and a defense. All right, we're back to Kirk Cousins immunity. Right now, he needs a running back, a flex, kicker, and defense. Probably going to go running back because they're going fast and furious. And honestly, actually, he's going to go with Chris Olave, rookie in New Orleans. So Chris Olave filling that flex slot right away. Hakuna Matata is next. And I think Hakuna Matata went, and he actually is going with St. Brown in Detroit, wide receiver. So let's actually take a look at Hakuna Matata real quickly. He has got no quarterback right now. He's got Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Marquise Brown, St. Brown in Detroit, Mike Andrews in Baltimore as a tight end, and Ezekiel Elliott as a flex. So he needs a quarterback, a kicker, and a defense. I'm assuming Hakuna Matata is looking at quarterback next, I would assume. Doomsday, going with Darren Waller. Let's take a look at Doomsday's lineup so far. No quarterback for Doomsday. He's got Fournette and Montgomery for their running backs. Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs for wide receivers. Allen Robinson on the flex. Darren Waller at their tight end. So far, so good. Dallas Goedert is going to the Rob Mob. Take a look at the Rob Mob real quick as the picks are coming in fast and furious right now. Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, Dallas Goedert, Travis Etienne. No quarterback for Rob Mob either. But they got Dallas Goedert. Denver Broncos just picked up Hawkinson, tight end out of Detroit. Cam Akers, running back out of the Rams to Often Warm Pie. Let's take a look at Often Warm Pie and see what they got right now. No quarterback, but they got Christian McCaffrey, and they just picked up Cam Akers. Deebo Samuel and CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts at the tight end, and Mike Williams out of the Chargers as their flex option. Samuel and CeeDee Lamb, as you can see, they both got the questionable mark. They're dealing with some injuries, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him in the arse, as we like to say here. Denver Broncos had just picked up TJ Hawkinson, as you can see. Got A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, DeMarcus Swift. No quarterback there, so let's time for me not to waste any more time. It's my turn up right now. I need to get a running back or a flex receiver out there, so let's take a look at what we got running back wise. Players out there for running backs. Running backs, thank you. Oh, I don't want to do that. Edwards Hilaire, I kind of like him, but you know what? I like Josh Jacobs better. Give me Josh Jacobs, and then I'm going with a backup quarterback. Yeah, I'm going with a backup quarterback. Tom Brady. How much would that piss everybody off if I just went Tom Brady in the 7th round? I'm not going to do that. I won't do that to you guys. I won't. What do I got so far? I got 30 seconds. I already got Mike Evans. I already got Miami. I don't need any more of that. Let me, I don't know. I'm going to do Juju. Juju's my man right there. So I'm going to do that. There you go. All right, so far what I need a kicker and a defense to round out my starting list, and then, of course, I got my benches that I got to worry about. So that's the way we go. That's the way we roll, my friend. So take a look at that. Money Mills just went ahead and took Brandon Cooks from Houston. The only thing I don't like about that is Davis Mills. Is Davis Mills going to go ahead and target Cooks long run, or, how much consistency do we have in Cooks? We'll see. And let's take a look at Money Mills and let's see what they got over there. So Money Mills does have Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Bryce Hall from the Jets, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Cooks receivers. They got George Kittle, so a good tight end there. You got Elijah Mitchell from San Francisco there as a flex running back. Kicker in the defense. It looks like there's their next ones up, so we're taking a look at that. Gonzo is running out of time. Need his pick. He's going to go with Godwin. Godwin's dealing with a nagging injury, but I think once he gets back up, I think he's going to be good. So Gonzo doing off and warm pie has gone with Jalen Hurts. I don't know why, but that's what they want. So they picked up his quarterback. Again, he's got McCaffrey, Akers, Debo, CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, and Mike Williams there so far. So kicker and defense, I think everybody's coming down to it. Kicker and defense are what is going to be needed. So keeping an eye on it. Denver Broncos are on the clock. They got 30 seconds to go. John Monroe is in the chat and wants to say go Cowboys. Yeah, go Cowboys. He is a avid fan of the Touchdown Crew, and we want to say thank you, John, for going ahead and being an avid fan and a great follower of the Touchdown Crew. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Russell Wilson is gone, and he is gone to the Denver Broncos. Thank you very much there. Denver is picked up Russell Wilson. So let's take a look at the Denver Broncos. Obviously, we have a Bronco at quarterback. You got Derrick Henry, Swift at running back. You got for receivers, you got Davis from Buffalo, Brown from Philadelphia, Allen from the Chargers, and TJ Hawkinson from Detroit. So everybody's starting to fill up on their skilled players. The Rob Mob goes ahead and fills their quarterback with Joe Burrow. Kyle Murray goes to Doomsday. Let's check out Doomsday real quick. Kyle Murray, Leonard Fournette, David Montgomery right there. Chase, Diggs, and Allen Robinson at wide receiver. I really like his wide receivers. And Darren Waller at tight end. Matt Stafford has gone to Hakuna Matata. He's found his quarterback. Kirk Cousins immunity has picked Kyle Edwards-Helaire as his running back. Let's take a look at Kirk Cousins immunity and let's see what he's got. Right there, you got Lamar Jackson. You got Jones and Edwards-Helaire at the running back. And then you have a threesome of receivers, Devontae, McLaurin, and Olave. And then Zach Ertz right there. Very solid lineup there at the receiving core. I like it. Derek Carr, quarterbacks are going fast and furious. Derek Carr goes to the Jaguars, and Jaguars, again, has 2 picks. Derek Carr is actually the backup right now. They got Trevor Lawrence, and Derek Carr could always start, depending on how they run. Let's see what the Jaguars pick next. They will go DJ Chark for Detroit. So there's your flex guy so far. Dawson Knox, Hunter Renfrow, Tyreek Hill is running backs. Michael Carter and Alvin Kamara right there at the running backs. Fast and Furious, Kirk Cousins immunity goes ahead and picks up Courtland Sutton. So he goes ahead and picks up his first bench player. Dolphins defense goes to Hakuna Matata. The Colts defense goes to Doomsday. Defenses now finally starting to make their way into the draft and round 8. Rob Mob picks up DJ Moore out of Carolina. And there is your first bench player for that team. Kirk Cousins going to the Denver Broncos. And that is the first backup there as well. Bills defense goes to Off and Warm Pie. He's got his defense. And we got Gonzo, Money Mills, and then myself for 2 picks. I think it's time. I see defenses go off the books. I think it's time for a defense. I see a lot of people picking bench players. Again, maybe not bench players, but definitely maybe they're trying strategically to go in a direction so they have coverage. So maybe defense isn't where it is right now because honestly, you don't really need a backup defense. Michael Thomas to New Orleans goes to the Gonzo's Sports Room. And that is their first pick for there. And Pierce from Houston, their running back. Money Mills gets that. Let's go to the Mac Attack as I am up right now for 2 picks. And let's see what we got available here. So always looking for a backup quarterback. Brady is still out there. That is just too good to miss. I have 2 picks. I'm going Brady. I like it. And let me go ahead and see, do I have a backup tight end? Because tight end, believe it or not, That is going to be huge. I like Tyler Higbee. Give me Higbee. And I got mine. There you go. So I got a couple of backups now. I got Brady and Higbee in that round. We're in the 9th round, everybody. 9th round. Jerry Jeudy just went. Let's take a look here what happened so far. So Brady, Higbee, then we got Jeudy. Money Mills took Jeudy. And again, we're starting to go ahead and fill up the benches now. And again, this snake draft, really interesting, because if you picked first or last in a round, you're getting double picks back to back. J.K. Dobbins goes to Gonzo. Then we have a first kicker, Justin Tucker, is gone off the board to Off and Warm Pie. He is filled up his starters right now. Again, these starters can always change, but let's take a look at Off and Warm Pie and his starters that he's picked. Jalen Hurts is at quarterback. You got McCaffrey and Akers at running back. Debo, CeeDee Lamb, and Mike Williams at receiver. Kyle Pitts at tight end. Justin Tucker, the kicker, and a Bills defense. We got the Denver Broncos picking Kareem Hunt out of Cleveland. Now, not sure what Kareem Hunt will do, especially with what's been going on, but Cleveland's just a mess. Hopefully he's one of the secure ones. Chase Edmonds from Miami goes to the Rob Mob, and Mason Crosby from Greens Bay, the kicker, goes to Doomsday. Hakuna Matata goes to Young So Koo. He's a kicker out of Atlanta. You got Bateman, wide receiver out of Baltimore, going to Kirk Cousins immunity. Picks are coming fast and furious right now. Rams defense goes to the Jaguars. They got back-to-back picks, so let's see what they do. Like I said, I'm not putting a lot of faith right now in either kicker or defense. Now, defense, unless you know they're going to rack up sacks and interceptions galore, they're not going to win you any games. I don't think so. Not in this league. Evan Ingram from the Jaguars, going to the Jaguars. Jaguars, Ray's picking up a lot of hometown teams, hometown players. Evan Ingram, Derek Carr, they're starting off on the bench. Let's take a look at his starters, though. Trevor Lawrence, Alvin Kamara, Michael Carter, doing the quarterback and running back routine. You got Dawson Knox as their tight end, Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow, and DJ Chalk at the wide receivers. Rams, the defense, he has not picked a kicker yet, but so far he's got Derek Carr as the backup QB and Evan Ingram backup tight end. Again, tight end backup is huge. Let's bring you up to speed. Kirk Cousins immunity goes to Damian Harris, running back out of New England. Hakuna Matata goes ahead and picks Johnson, the wide receiver out of Pittsburgh. DJ Metcalf goes to Doomsday. So, again, picks coming fast and furious. We are in the 10th round of 17, everybody. 10th round of 17. And it has gone fast and furious so far right now. We will do a recap once this is over. It'll be a really quick recap. Not going to take very long. It's not going to take very long for the draft. Garrett Everett from the Chargers goes to the Rob Mob. As picks do come in, we try to go ahead and bring in some of the starters and backups that have been coming in. Rob Mob, as you can see, pretty good team right there. A.J. Dillon. Running back goes to the Denver Broncos. You got London from Atlanta, one wide receiver going to Off and Warm Pie. You can see a lot of some of these players do have the Q next to them. That means they're dealing with an injury and they're questionable. Most of these players, though, they're looking like they're going to start week one. They, just one of those injury designations just to go ahead and, make sure there's nothing too serious. They should be good to go, though. Gonzo Sports Room is on the clock right now. 28 seconds to go and make the pick. Again, 60 seconds to make your selection unless you are on auto draft. And if you could take a look at the top row of my sheet here, all the little circles or yellow circles with the arrows indicate that. DeAndre Hopkins, Devin Singletary, and DeAndre Hopkins have gone. Gonzo Sports Room and Money Mills, respectfully. It is my turn to pick next to end round 10 and to begin round 11. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Maybe I need a kicker right now. Let me take a look at receivers. I got 20 seconds to make a pick, so I got to be quick on this. Ooh. I'm going to do Ayuk, a backup receiver. Any good running backs left? As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to take a look at all. Who's right now at the top? Tony Pollard? I don't know about that. Oh, man, that's too risky. That's way too risky. No, Russell Gage. I don't like that either. I like Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen for a receiver. There we go. All right, let's take a look at mine right now. Let's take a look at my overall team so far. Herbert, he is my man. He's my live or die man. If that don't work, I got Tom Brady right there in the back. So, yeah. Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Gesicki is my tight end. I have not picked up a kicker or defense yet, but I've been loading up on players. Tom Brady is my backup QB. Tyler Higbee, my backup tight end. Brandon Ayuk may be a starter. So could Adam Thielen. It all depends on how they work out. As you can see, we're getting down to the last 4 picks right now. Comments here. John Monroe says September 11th, Dallas beats the Bucs by 8. And Brandon says Elijah Mitchell or Allen Robinson starting at flex week 1. I would say Allen Robinson. I kind of like that a lot better than Elijah Mitchell. That's just my personal opinion. All right, let's catch up here real quick. 49ers defense goes to Money Mills. Gonzo Sports Rooms gets Smith out of receiver from Philly. Tony Pollard goes to Off and Warm Pie. Schultz, the tight end out of Dallas, goes to the Denver Broncos. Rob Mobb gets Darnell Mooney, receiver out of the Chicago Bears. Elijah Moore, there's your pick right there, goes to Doomsday as a receiver. Kyle Tony from the receiver from the Giants goes to Hakuna Matata. Chargers goes ahead and pick the Kirk Cousins immunity, picks the Chargers defense. And McCole Hardman goes to the Jaguars. Jaguars get another pick as they close out round 11 and open round 12. And right now, so far, we see here Hakuna Matata and Doomsday are on autopilot right now. Matt Prater goes to the Jaguars, so they're picking up and starting to fill out their team right now. And again, we'll go ahead and have everything all over. We'll go ahead and go over all 10 teams and their starters and backups that they have. And of course, backups and stars is just kind of a formality thing right now. Aaron Rodgers at round 12 goes to Kirk Cousins immunity. Aaron Rodgers sleeping in that quarterback position. Rashad Penny goes to Hakuna Matata. Trey Lance goes to Doomsday. So quarterbacks now starting to fill in on some of these teams that just avoided quarterbacks altogether. And that was kind of something that was being talked about. Quarterbacks just not going very highly. Antonio Gibson, running back out of Washington, goes to the Rob Mobb. Denver Broncos, they go ahead and draft Tyler Lockett out of Seattle. Off and Warm Pie, they go for Amari Cooper, injury-prone receiver out of Cleveland, even though he's actually healthy. So that's good. That's good for Cleveland because, listen, they're going to need all the help they can get for the first 11 games. And Amari Cooper, bringing him in, as long as he can stay healthy and be productive, that's going to be huge. And we're going to see how they go ahead and perform against the Carolina Panthers. Remember, Baker Mayfield said he's going to F up Carolina. Just saying, he's talking a lot of smack over there for being ousted. All right. Often Gonzo gets Tyler Bass, kicker out of Buffalo. Cordell Patterson goes to Money Mills at pick 119. And it is time for me here. What do I need? All right, I need a kicker and a defense. I think it's time to do both. So let's go defense. Get up there. Defense. Ooh. Don't know if I want to pick the Patriots. I don't know if I want to pick the Cowboys. Actually, no, I do want to pick the Cowboys. No. Do I? Hold on. I'm going to use the cheat sheet. I like the Steelers. I'm going to get the Steelers as my defense. And I'm going to take a kicker. Give me... See, picking a kicker, you want to make sure that not only they score touchdowns, but the offense moves the ball. So when I take a look at a kicker, I want to know if this offense is going to move the ball. And I say... I see Boswell doing it. I think... No, Butker. Let me take Butker out of Kansas City. We'll take that. All right, so that cleans me up for my starters, or at least it fills up those spots. I have 2 open spots. Probably not going to get a backup kicker or defense because those are a dime a dozen. You can go ahead and go without a backup defense or a backup kicker because everybody, you got 10 teams, there's 20 other defenses. There's 20 other kickers that are going to be out there. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. Money Mills, get Burks, receiver out of Tennessee. I don't understand the reasoning for picking a Tennessee wide receiver because do you really have a passer that's going to get you the ball? Tannehill, I don't know. But we'll see here. Robert Woods goes to Off and Warm Pie. Right before that was the Saints defense going to Gonzo. Marquez Valdez-Scantling going to Denver. That's going to be quite interesting to how Mahomes distributes the ball. Who's going to be the big dog over there? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be that big dog? So we're going to see. Marquez Valdez-Scantling for Denver. He feels like that guy is going to be the big dog. There goes Dak Prescott, quarterback for Dallas, to the Rob Mob. Doomsday goes ahead and picks up Russell Gage in Tampa. Akuna Matata gets Melvin Gordon. And as you can see, picks are coming fast and furious. We're about ready to close out round 13. Kirk Cousins immunity on the clock. And like I said, we will go ahead and take a look at all of the teams and their rosters after we conclude this. We are going to basically be closing everything out here soon. Miles Sanders going to Kirk Cousins immunity. There's James Robinson, the running back there, going to the Jaguars. Another Jaguar going to the Jaguars, right? I don't know what's up with you. You have a lot of faith. Lot of faith in the Jaguars to pick up the Jaguars. You got Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you got Evan Ingram, James Robinson. You got 3 Jaguars on you. You do realize you have to replace these guys when the bye week comes. Hollins, another receiver out of Vegas, going to the Jaguars. So he has got one more pick to go. So round 15 is going to be it. Round 15 is going to be it. We got, most of us, 2 more players. Yes, Nathaniel. Yes, Nathaniel, there is a team called Kirk Cousins immunity. Yes, and you know what? You're right. It is kind of sad that is the case there. Ramonde Steele. Okay, so we have a couple of ways. They're coming fast and furious there. Evan McPherson from Cincinnati, their kicker, going to Kirk Cousins immunity. Akuna Matata gets Lazard, receiver out of Green Bay. Ramonde Stevenson out of New England going to Doomsday. Buccaneer defense goes to the Rob Mob. All right, we're caught up here. We got Denver now on the clock. Denver Broncos. Again, very creative name. Very creative name. And we'll go ahead and take a look at all of the players and how everything went down as soon as everything finishes out. And we want to thank everybody watching tonight. We appreciate it. Wish we could have had some of the teams that are actually on video, but that's okay. All right, Denver Broncos, they go ahead and pick the Ravens defense. Office Warm Pie goes ahead and picks Walker, a running back out of Seattle. Don't see, I mean, we'll see. They may have some insight on what they want to do. Gonzo is up on the block here, Gonzo's Sports Room, and he is going to pick Christian Kirk, a Jacksonville receiver, which I'm surprised the Jaguars didn't pick. Just saying. David Mills going to Money Mills. You know what? They're finally something actually went ahead and went right there because Money Mills. You never know. All right. So I already have a couple of tight ends, but you know what? Maybe this is just me kind of screwing around. I'm going to take Mac Jones. And then to close out my team, I know I listen, I get it. It's stupid. It really is. It's stupid. But I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm going to take Cameron Brate. Do I want to take Cameron Brate? Damn it. Yeah, I want to take Cameron Brate. I need tight ends, don't I? No. Maybe. Do I? What do we got here? I got 25 seconds. I got to make a pick. I don't want Tua. I don't want Fields. I don't want any more quarterbacks. Jacoby, Trubisky. Let me take Devontae Parker. Yep. I know what I just did. I had to pick some Patriots. I did not have any Patriots on there. I had an ex-Patriot, but that's it. Listen, we are in the final picks. 7 more picks to go. Let's go ahead and keep up on everything going on. Money Mills went ahead, picked Jake Elliott, kicker out of Philadelphia, to close out his team. Gonzo's on the clock. Gonzo's going to take Komet, who is a tight end out of the Bears. Off and Warren Pyre on the clock. He's going to take Tua as a quarterback. We got the Denver Broncos on there. Ryan Suckup going to the Broncos. Rob Mobb is on the clock. And then we got a couple of auto picks, Doomsday and Hakuna Matata. And then Kirk Cousins and Jaguars will finish everything out. There's Carlson, kicker out of the Vegas. And that goes to the Rob Mobb. Doomsday goes ahead and gets Robinson, running back out of Washington, who, by the way, is apparently on some type of suspension. Justin Fields goes to the Bears, Hakuna Matata, and Pickens, receiver out of Pittsburgh. And the Jaguars closing it out with Claypool out of Pittsburgh. Let's take a look. Mac Attack, that's my team. I'm going to try to go ahead and make sure. So on my right, and let me go ahead and load this thing up as far as I can. I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and load this up as quick as I can, okay? So for the Mac Attack, I got Justin Herbert as my starting quarterback, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, running backs, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle are my receivers. I got Mike Gesicki as my tight end. I got Juju Smith-Schuster as my flex. Harrison Butker as my kicker, and the Pittsburgh defense. My backups, Brady, Higbee, Ayuk, Thielen, Mac Jones, Devontae Parker. That is my team right there. Let's take a look at the next, the Jaguars, who started off with picks 10 and 11, back-to-back picks, and they were going great. Trevor Lawrence in at quarterback, Alvin Kamara, Michael Carter, Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow, tight end Dawson Knox, DJ Chark from the Detroit, Matt Prater from Arizona, and you got the Rams defense. Now, here's the thing. You got Derek Carr, who I feel is going to be way better than Trevor Lawrence, but there you go. Derek Carr, got him in round 7 right there. Evan Ingram, backup tight end, McCole Hardman, James Robinson, Michael Hollins, and Chris Claypool rounds out the Jaguar team. Kirk Cousins immunity ended up with Lamar Jackson in the 4th round. They started off with Aaron Jones at running back in Green Bay. Kyle Edwards-Helaire in the 7th round. Devontae Adams they took in the 2nd round. Travis McLaurin is their other receiver. Zach Ertz is their tight end. Chris Olave, the rookie, will be their flex receiver to start. Evan McPherson, kicker out of Cincinnati, and the Chargers with their defense. For the bench, what they have currently, you have Sutton, Bateman as receivers. Damian Harris out of New England for their running back. Aaron Rodgers as a backup quarterback. Miles Sanders, running back out of Philly, and Pickens, receiver out of Pittsburgh. That's Kirk Cousins immunity, the Denver Broncos. They picked up Russell Wilson in the 7th round. They began their draft with Derrick Henry and Swift, both running backs, 1 and 2. Kyle Allen and A.J. Brown go 3 and 4. T.J. Hawkinson, their tight end. You got Davis out of Buffalo in their receivers core. Their kicker is Ryan Suckup. The Ravens start at their defense. Their bench consists of Kirk Cousins, Kareem Hunt, and A.J. Dillon at running back. You got Schultz, the tight end out of Dallas. Tyler Lockett, receiver out of Seattle, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, receiver in KC. As your Denver Broncos, we got Doomsday. Doomsday. They get Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback. Their running backs is Fournette and Montgomery. You got Jamar Chase, Stefan Diggs, and Allen Robinson as your receivers and a flex. Darren Waller is your tight end. Mason Crosby's your kicker, and you got your Colts defense right there. The backup, DJ Metcalf, Elijah Moore as receivers. Trey Lance, quarterback. You got Russell Gage, also another receiver. And then you got Ramondre Stevenson and Brian Robinson and running back duty there in the backups. The Rob Mob. Let's take a look at that. Joe Burrow, defending AFC Conference champion. Austin Eckler and Najee Harris are your running backs. Travis Etienne is filling in on the flex. Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, is your receivers. Dallas Goedert at tight end. And then you have Carlson at kicker and in Vegas, and you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense. The backups you got DJ Moore in Carolina. You got a backup running back in Chase Edmonds. You got a backup tight end in Garrett Everett. Darryl Mooney, receiver in Chicago. AJ Gibson, running back in Washington, and Dak Prescott, a backup QB on your team right there. So, often warm pie. Jalen Hurts was the first quarterback they took. Christian McCaffrey, number 1 pick overall for this team. Cam Akers joins him in the backfield there. Running backs are CeeDee Lamb and Deebo Samuel. Kyle Pitts is their tight end. You got Mike Williams, wide receiver out of the Chargers in their flex position. Justin Tucker, the kicker. And you got the Bills Mafia, their defense, in there as your starters. You got London, receiver from Atlanta, as your backup. Pollard, running back out of Dallas. You got Amari Cooper, backup receiver. Robert Woods, backup receiver. You got Walker, running back out of Seattle, and Tua Tagovailoa, their backup QB, which, depending on who he does, could end up being a starter. We'll find out. Gonzo Sports Room picked up Pat Mahomes as your starting quarterback. Saquon Barkley and Williams out of Denver as your running backs. You got Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin as your starting receivers. Travis Kelce is your tight end. James Conner, your flex running back. Tyler Bass, the kicker, and the Saints in your defense. Michael Thomas, you're backing up the receiver there in New Orleans. J.K. Dobbins, the running back there. Both, as you can see, questionable. I think it's more of a cautionary thing. Devin Singletary out of Buffalo. You got Smith, the receiver out of Philly. Christian Kirk out of Jacksonville. And Cole Kmet, a backup tight end right there in Chicago. Just a couple more teams to go over. Money Mills. Here we go. Josh Allen, the number 2 guy. The number 1 quarterback taken, Nick Chubb, Bryce Hall, running backs. Justin Jefferson, Brandon Cooks. You got George Kittle, the tight end. Elijah Mitchell, another running back there in the flex position. Jake Elliott, the kicker, and the 49ers defense. You got Pierce out of Houston, the running back there in your backup position. Jerry Jeudy, receiver. Dustin Hopkins right there. Cordell Patterson, running back. Burks, receiver out of Tennessee, and Davis Mills, quarterback in your bench area. Finally, Hakuna Matata, my boy, Coach Victor, got Matthew Stafford, one of the quarterbacks there. His first pick was Dalvin Cook. You got Joe Mixon at running back. You complement your receivers. You got Marquez Brown and St. Brown from Arizona and Detroit, respectively. Mark Andrews, the tight end out of Baltimore. Zeke, the running back out of Dallas. Youngso Koo, the kicker out of Atlanta. And you got the Dolphins defense. Backing everybody up, you got Johnson, the receiver out of Pittsburgh. Tony, the receiver for the Giants. Rashad Penny, the running back out of Seattle. Melvin Gordon, running back out of Denver. Aaron Lazard, wide receiver out of Green Bay. And Justin Fields in Chicago. And there you go, everybody. There you go. The 2022 first annual Touchdown Crew Fantasy Football League draft is in the books. We appreciate everybody watching. Tried to make it as entertaining as possible. We appreciate it. But listen, games are just to begin. All the starters and all the backups that you see on here, they could change at a moment's notice. And we'll go ahead and bring you every inch of every happening in the Fantasy Football League that we have here in the Touchdown Crew. And we appreciate it, everybody. Thank you, John, for telling me good job. I know I sucked. Again, I was kind of hoping that we had some of the crew come on and share their experiences and why they picked what they picked. But as you can see, it goes fast and furious. I was barely able to go ahead and catch my breath and take a sip of water like this. Listen, don't forget, Thursday Night Football. It opens the 2022 season of the NFL. It's happening. The Buffalo Bills going to LA to take on the Super Bowl champion LA Rams. It should have been, in a lot of people's eyes, that should have been the Super Bowl. So Buffalo gets a chance to go ahead and prove why they should be talked about in the AFC as the representative going into Arizona this year in February. So let's go ahead and do that. Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, the Touchdown Crew comes back live right here on the ASAP Network and on the Facebook page, the Touchdown Crew, TDC.ASAP. Make sure you go ahead and like and follow. And we will be going ahead and wrapping up the Thursday night game, the season opener for both of those teams. And then we'll go ahead and pick Sunday's games one at a time. And we're just going to keep doing that every week, going down the list of all the news and headlines that have happened, everything that goes on. Make sure you go ahead and follow the Touchdown Crew Facebook page for all the stuff that we will talk about on Sunday. And if you want to ever go ahead and chime in and talk on the show, we have our phone line open at 813-699-5353. And, of course, you could always go ahead and chat on our Facebook page, the ASAP Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you name it, you can go ahead and do it. So make sure you follow not only the Touchdown Crew on Facebook at facebook.com/TDC.ASAP, but also search the ASAP Sports Network on all social media platforms. Follow them, like them, share them, love them. That's it, everybody. I'm Charles Richardson from the Touchdown Crew. Good night, everybody, and happy Memorial Day to everybody.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.